Hey everybody, the Adept here, and we're going to do a new unboxing and build video. This is the Classic TKL by Novelkeys. I have the Proto Yellow version, which we'll work with today, and I did already open it to make sure that everything was in here. And it is, but I just want to say that the fact that they glued the front shut is either super retro or super annoying. You be the judge. But there's not a lot in here. It comes with the tools and accessories, which we'll look at in a minute. And that is all. And then there's a foam that is just black with a kind of velvety feel. And then the keyboard. And that's the whole box. Now, the keyboard comes built. And we'll take a look at that right now. I haven't actually opened it yet. But this is the keyboard. You can see the gaskets poking through. Let's take a look at the tools and accessories first. And by tools and accessories, what they mean is it comes with switch comb, extra gaskets, Allen key, extra screws, a cable, which is color matched to the yellow, which I will not be opening right now. This is the board. It has, or rather it does not have the ability to do anything other than a PCB mounted stabs because it lacks the guides that are on plate mounted stabs. It can only do step caps. As you can see here, there's no blocker for anything else through the plate. The plate, which is made of a polycarbonate, just like the rest of the case. So basically this whole thing, plate, everything out of the box is all made of polycarbonate, except for the bottom, which is made of silicone. Once we get it open, we'll take a look and see whether or not it has a metal threaded inserts. But first glance seems to tell me that it doesn't. We'll need to open it up so that we can install the stabs. The stabs we'll be using for this build are going to be a set of Neo stabs. I am currently out of Paigu stabs, which is why we will not be using those today. So they have 4 in the top, 4 in the bottom, a couple on the top, on screwing the plate to the bottom to the PCB, which we'll get to in a little bit. We'll take off the top, and with it comes the bottom. There is a piece of foam on it, and there's a wire that connects it to the daughter board. My wire was wrapped up inside this foam right here. This is the bottom of the PCB. So as you can see, there are in fact threaded inserts that are metal, which is good. And this is our case. As I said, it appears to be made of all polycarbonate and silicone. The silicone bottom, it looks like it's one piece, but it seems to actually be 2. I am not going to try to take that out just in case it is. The daughter board has a JST connector on both ends, which isn't bad. Obviously, Pogo is better, but I mean, what do you want for the price point? Well, I mean, actually, this and I think all of the versions of this are at a price point of $100, which, I mean, $100 you can get Pogo connectors. Now that we have our PCB and plate assembly out, this uses the same screws. Now we have removed all the screws from the plate. Yeah, very polycarbonate, very flexy, kind of a way. That right there. Comes with foams, very dense for pour on. So I'm not sure if that actually is pour on. You can see the threaded inserts that connect it to the plate. Obviously, you can run it plateless, I would guess, or not plateless, but foamless. That's why you have these. I will not be running it foamless because I love foams. And you could run it without your IXBE sheet. I will not be doing that either. So I'm going to install some stabilizer pads and stabilizers, and then we'll be right back. All right, and funny story, new camera arrived, and so we have a new camera. Hopefully this is going to be the last camera for a while. We have stabilizers. A couple of caveats with the stabs is that, for one, they didn't work with the stab pads. Stab pads ended up being too thick, and so I could not get it to seat all the way. So they all had to go, and so we're going to go stab padless. The other, actually much more significant caveat is the screw hole right here for the plate is partially running into the stabilizer for the left shift, and so that, I don't know yet, could end up being a significant issue. As you can see, it is having a little bit of an issue. Trying to reconcile that stab with this one. That way we don't have to worry about this stabilizer coming up. Well, that made things a lot easier now, didn't it? And the switches we're going to use today, we'll move that cable over to that side. What do you think, Evos or Hyacinth? And the girlfriend says to use the Hyacinth because they have the yellow stems. And the keycaps we'll be using today are going to be the MT3 Cyber by Drop. One other thing to note is that it only supports a 7U spacebar, so you'll need to make sure to accommodate for that. It also has a 1.5 Alt and Control and a 1.5 and a 1 center. It seems a little wonkified, but it looks like it's going to work. All right, and here are our switches. The KTT Hyacinth V1s, and now we're going to reinstall it back into our case. Make sure that everything works. Install our keycaps. Well, I doubt that this foam really does much. We will reinstall it. Notice that this does have a bottom-mounted reset switch, which is great. Always be careful when you're plugging in your JST connectors. We're going to reinstall our screws. All right. This is the keyboard with the KTT Hyacinth V1s installed. Those are lubed. And then the MT3 Cyber by Drop as the interesting. It is laying in over on the right side. So that will be possibly polarizing for everybody. But what won't be polarizing for, well, for me anyway, is the RGB, which looks really nice. Some quick specs about the keyboard, and then we'll go into a quick typing test, and then afterwards my final thoughts. So currently, this was a limited edition. There, it was limited to 100 units. The primary colors to start are what's called Retro Bright Beige, and Retro Bright Beige is kind of a standard solid beige color. And then the Based Black, which looks like it's a solid black color. In the case of the beige, it will have a clear PC plate. In the case of the Based Black, it has a smoked PC plate. The weight is approximately 1.8 pounds unbuilt, 2.2 pounds built. The typing angle is 5 degrees. And let's go into a quick typing test.
All right, let's talk about my final thoughts on the keyboard. I had a little bit of time to use it, to kind of go over it, and I think that it's a nice looking keyboard. There's not a whole lot to it to really distinguish it from a lot of the other keyboards that are out there. Am I telling you not to get it? No, it definitely has its redeeming qualities. If you like the design language, then I would definitely think that it can be in the running. It has its flaws. However, I did see in the Discord chat yesterday with the designer that they are going to be making some of the design tweaks on revisions of new models that come out. So hopefully they're going to fix the left shift post problem. It also has been causing some shifting of the plate to make the plate not line up after people have installed stabs. I was able to kind of finagle it, and it worked. And I haven't had any problems since. It's a good keyboard. In today's market, it's less compelling than some other keyboards. So I think really it comes down to, are you willing to pay for the higher quality, but not pay so much that you would go with something like the Neo 80? The design, if you like the PC case and you like the price point of $100, then this can be your keyboard. Not that you need my permission, obviously. These are all things to consider. And when you consider them, I would absolutely say that if you want a high quality keyboard that is lower weight, because obviously this is much lower weight than the Neo 80, you don't want to go too far above a $100 price point with bare bone system. So something on the go that you don't want to pay as much for, but you want higher quality than something like a GMK 87, then I would absolutely suggest taking a look at this. It doesn't have wireless, so that makes it less good for the on-the-go part. Not everybody needs wireless. So under those circumstances, I would recommend this keyboard. Under other circumstances, if you are very budget conscious, I would suggest going with something like the GMK 87. If you can afford to spend more, I would definitely choose the Neo 80 over this keyboard. And that's my review. Like and subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think of this video, what you think of the Classic TKL, and hopefully I will see you on my next video. I hope you all have a great day, and